it's Doris from All the Books, and I have all the books. Yes, even though I just filmed a huge birthday book haul in which I shared all of the expensive books that I just bought. I went and bought more books because, you know, the Bailey's long list. So anyway, I have 3 more of those to share, and there are 2 more still traveling through the postal service, so they'll be in the next book haul. And I'm having to film a book haul today because you can tell I'm ever so slightly ashamed of myself, but that I don't care at all. Yeah, I'm going book shopping today. I'm really excited. I got a 50% off coupon for that amazing used bookstore that's about an hour north of me. And yeah, so I'm going up there to enjoy a couple hours in that bookstore and then meeting friends for dinner at some place called the White Squirrel. That sounds very exciting. So it's going to be a fun day. Yes. So let's get to the books. So, these 3, let's see. I got The Power by Naomi Alderman, and this one's got a little bit of a shot. Oh yeah. Yeah, this one, fascinating. Women can apparently kill men by touch, and I don't know, the concept just kind of blows my mind that what if we lived in a world where women weren't the ones that had to be afraid at night? It's a powerful concept. I'm just saying, I'm very intrigued by this. And then The Sport of Kings by C.E. Morgan. This wasn't on my original I Want It list, but I was totally reeled in by Simon from Savage Reads and Rincey from Rincey Reads, and yes, so, and I don't know why I didn't want this one, because I totally love horses. I was one of those little girls that drew unicorns all the time and read all of the Black Stallion, every single one, multiple times. So yeah, and I was kind of bummed about getting this version because, you know, the UK edition has that gorgeous multicolored cover. But when I got this, I fell in love. Look at that. Do you see how it's kind of newspapery but like metallic-y? It's stunning. So yeah, so the thing that turned me on to this one more is it is centered around the horse racing world in Kentucky, but it's more a story of family and racism and class, so I think it's gonna be great. And then I got The Mare by Mary Gateskill, and this is another one that I don't know how many times my hand hovered over this book in Books A Million. I just kept seeing it, and I don't know why I resisted buying it, because again, I love horse stories, but I just hadn't seen any reviews and I was hesitant. So when it got on the Bailey's long list, I tracked it down, and since then I've seen a couple good reviews, so excited about that. And then I told you I went to the bookstore to buy books for my sisters in the clearance section. They know I got them in the clearance section. They're cool with it. So yeah, I had to check out clearance section for myself as well. I'm shameful, I know. And I picked up 3 more. I'm pretty pleased with them, actually. This first one is called Year of Wonders by Geraldine Brooks, and this is set in probably the 1600s, yes. But it's dealing with the plague, and it's about a little town that the plague arrived in a bolt of clothing that was shipped in, and the town decided to quarantine itself to help prevent the spread. Just heroic of them. And it's about centered around this girl and her nursing role in the story. And I was very intrigued by this because we do a unit with my ESL class at the high school about plagues. We do it in October, and it culminates in the Mask of the Red Death. But we study the Ebola virus and compare it to and contrast it with the plague. And, you know, we've got this really fun unit with the Ebola hazmat suit and the doctor's plague uniforms that they wore back in the day. So it was really fun. So I'm excited about that. And then I got this, Lila by Marilyn Robinson. And I picked it up and was very intrigued by the dust jacket blurb. It's a little girl that was abandoned as a toddler, and a drifter picks her up, and the two girls kind of grow up together doing itinerant work, and then she ends up in Gilead. Does that ring a bell? That's apparently a very fabulous novel. And yeah, so it's just about how she transitions into a stable lifestyle, married to a minister, and the paradox of him being a little judgmental about people like the one that raised her. I'm curious. I just really loved the synopsis. And now today on my adventures, I'm really hoping, I knew that Gilead was somewhat of a prequel to this one, so I'm hoping to find it. And then I just recently found out it's actually a trilogy, so I need to find home as well. So fingers crossed, wish me luck. And then I couldn't resist. I got Son of a Witch by Gregory Maguire. And yeah, I know I didn't love Wicked. It wasn't my favorite of his, but I just love this man's writing so much. And I just want to know what happened to the boy. I really do. So I got it. Which means, you know, I'll probably end up, I'll read all 4 of these. I think there's 4 in this series. So, and then these were bargain priced at $3.97, $6.97, and $4.97. Not bad. Then, since starting BookTube and buying books with Wild Abandon, I was like, I've never been to Goodwill and checked out their books yet. So let's just go do that. So the first time I went, took my son with me, and he checked out the t-shirt collection while I checked out the book collection. And I found National Velvet by Enid Bagnall. I read this as a child and loved it, of course. And I thought this was a gorgeous edition. And I had no clue. I was standing in checkout, and I happened to flip to the title page and check out the copyright information on the back. 1935. I am so pumped. And look at the quality of this thing. Oh, happy day, right? And the Goodwill hardcovers are $3, at least in my area. And then I got 1,000 Splendid Suns by Khaled Hosseini. This is one that I've already read, as well as National Velvet, obviously. I just want all of his. I just love him. His writing is fabulous and very important to our time, I think. And I think I mentioned this before, but if you ever want to read about the U.S. impacts in this part of the world, Pakistan, Afghanistan, read some of his work, this one especially. And then I got Inez of My Soul by Isabel Allende, and you know, a somewhat scandalous cover. Look at that. I wasn't gonna let myself buy it because I already have an Isabel Allende on my TBR shelf. I've read her work before, and she's just a gorgeous writer. But then I read the Dust Jacket, and I couldn't resist. This is a female conquistador, and yeah, this is the Spanish colonization of Chile, and I have mixed feelings about it because I really struggle with the whole colonization and conquering. I mean, conquistador is an apt title for it, for, you know, what Europeans have done to other parts of the world. It's a hard story. And I think her blurb really describes that. I mean, she talks about the brutality. So yeah, I'm interested to see how that goes. And then I went again. Of 2 or 3, it was probably 3 weeks later. My kid was off doing something, and I had some spare time, and I was like, oh, let's go check out Goodwill again. And I picked up the Bees and Mist, because, you know, I'm collecting bee books, and I had never heard of this one. And the paperbacks at Goodwill are $1, and they're junky, super junky. Like, I'm a snob about that. They're mostly mass market, very few bigger literary ones, and the spines are all cracked, and you know how I feel about that. So this one looked in decent condition though, and the bee book, and I'm very interested. It's kind of, it says mythical. It's kind of maybe a contemporary story, but with fantasy elements. And it talks about demons and witchcraft and yada yada. But the part that intrigued me most is the author. It's Eric Setiawan, and he was born in Jakarta, Indonesia, to Chinese parents, moved to the U.S. at 16, and he graduated from Stanford. So yeah, I think just his background intrigues me, and him writing about a woman and her family interactions and interactions with witchcraft and demons and yada yada. It's kind of interesting. So yeah. And then I picked up Unbroken by Laura Hillenbrand. I've already read this. It was a great book, and interestingly enough, I journaled about it back in the day, so I thought I'd read that to you because I thought it was really captured the moment, which was at the end of 2015, so I wouldn't have remembered it as well if I hadn't written about it. So I wrote, it was the last book of 2015. This was a good one. It turned out to not be too much about survival on the ocean as I feared. It also was not solely about overcoming, although it was definitely that. The thing I saw most was the fear, and how it destroys the lives of men and of nations, and how it can change us from who we are to someone we do not recognize. Yes. And the quote I wrote down from it was, "The paradox of vengefulness is that it makes men dependent upon those who have harmed them." I think that's a profound statement for today. Unbroken. And then these last 3 are not mine. These are books that are on loan. I got The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. This is a friend from work. Another ESL teacher shared this with me, and it's one I've been wanting to read. And then I have The Alienist by Caleb Carr, and the sequel, The Angels of Darkness. These are my sister's favorite books, so I think it'll be awesome to read them and kind of get a feel for what my sister loves. These are they're historical fiction set in maybe the 1800s, and the first forays into forensics with criminal investigations. So yeah, that's my book haul, and there will be another one coming soon because I'm going shopping this afternoon. So thanks for watching, and I'll chat with you soon. Bye.